Hi, I'm Yabi, and I was with Link Ministries this summer for the first week. I was working with Faith Church, and we are setting up a kids camp here. I just have 3 highlights that I want to talk about. So basically at this camp, we run things from grade 1 to grade 6, and we have a variety of different students. We run games, songs, we do activities and crafts. And one of the main things that I recognized throughout the week was that when we started, we had prepared from our previous training, which was last week, and we expected 8 to 9 kids. And the first day we were sitting around just waiting for people to arrive and to show up, and that wasn't God's plan. And we had 2 kids show up, and we just made sure to evangelize and to do our part that entire day, even though that we expected more kids. We set up the games and we did other events, but we were really hoping for more people to come. Due to this, the adults team actually went out and went to evangelize and did outreach, and from that, it was very fruitful, and a family decided to come, and they also bring their neighbors. So that increased our numbers and almost tripled it, and the next day we had more kids show up and got around 8 students coming in. During this day, something that amazing that I saw is that we talked about the story of Joseph and how he was abandoned by his brothers and had no one with him, and just talking about how God was with him throughout his entire story. A lot of the kids that come to this camp aren't saved, and they're just coming here for a time to just be with their friends and to play activities while their parents are in the ESL training. But it was interesting to see that he knew the story, but it was of a different religion. So he was from Islam, and he was just talking about how Joseph's God was like with him the whole time, and he asked, well, who is Joseph's God? And that was interesting because he asked us after the lesson, so that really shows that it was on his heart and that he really understood the lesson. And I was just able to like tell him who God was and who we serve as Christians. And it was just a great time for me to plant seeds, and it's just our purpose here. And I'm just glad that through that we were able to actually plant a seed in his heart. And he's been coming. He came for 2 days now. So it was great to see that we were able to plant seeds in that scenario. And then another highlight that I was really thinking about after we were kind of doing a debrief with our team was as our leaders were leading a song, which is a Christian song, and we had actions just to keep it interactive. I just looked around and I just saw the kids proclaiming these words like, "This is amazing grace, how great our God is." And even these kids that didn't know who Jesus was, they were singing along with our leaders and doing the actions. And in that way, they're prophesying like the purpose that God has for them, even though they weren't saved. So it's awesome to see that even through those little 5-minute activities where we're singing and dancing, they're actually proclaiming like the glory and the goodness of God. And that's our already planted seed as they memorize these songs and are able to take them home and rehearse them for themselves. So it was just great to see that. And then we also did a bunch of different activities where I got to see the kids coming together and like making new friendships, some with Christian believers and then some that didn't know Jesus. And it was just great to see the community there and how they can see the reflection of Jesus through that. So that was awesome to see. I think the great thing about Link Ministries is that often we focus a lot in the church, which is amazing, to plant seeds within the church, but to also like water them and allow them to grow. But I think it's important that we go outside of our comfort zone and outside of our boundaries, and to reach those who don't know Jesus and don't have access to him throughout the other like months of the year, or whether it be in their homes or in their schools. So being that one vessel where we're able to proclaim what Jesus has done and who Jesus truly is, like this student who's asking about who Joseph's God was. It's just great that Link Ministries is able to reach out further than just within the church. So this is my first year with Link Ministries. I've worked in other camps before, but it's just great to see the firsthand frontline experience of people meeting God, and especially in the young hearts of those who don't know Jesus and are experiencing him here for the first time. So it's an honor to work with Link Ministries. I'm glad that Jesus was able to work with them and their families, and I pray that you guys can pray for their families and that the seeds that were planted will be able to prosper and continue throughout over the summer and not just this past week. Thank you for your support and your prayers. Yeah, I'll be signing out.